Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome back to Fat Cat Collections. Thank you so much for tuning in. And today I'm going to share with you guys another Invicta watch. And I gotta tell you, sometimes when I'm looking at Invicta watches, seeing what new models are coming out with, whether it be on YouTube or, well, actually I'll be watching myself on YouTube, what I know. But there's lots of different places where you can buy Invicta watches. I always try to link you guys to the best reputable sellers and the most or the fairest deals, right? And so sometimes I'll see a watch online and I never have. Sometimes I just don't even. It doesn't even speak to me. Like it doesn't. Not even something I even want to consider even buying. I appreciate that it looks nice, but it's not one that really is on my hot list. You know what I mean? And I've worked a deal now with Bulldog Enterprise. If you haven't checked out their listings on eBay, he's been selling Invicta watches for quite some time. That's pretty much all he sells. Great seller. I've used him in the past, and so we have an agreement now where I'll be sharing a lot more Invictas with you guys and linking to his products. So great opportunity to share a lot more watches that I don't have in my collection. And I'll tell you, this is one that I didn't even think about even looking into until I saw it in person. And this is a masculine, tough looking watch, and it is affordably priced, like unbelievably priced. And this is what we're going to talk about today. And this watch is so much prettier in person. It really is amazing. Look at this bad boy. All right, this is their Coalition. What is this thing called? Again, Invicta sometimes at the names. All right, this is their Coalition Forces Quartz chronograph. Now, there's plenty of Coalition Forces watches that Invicta makes. I've owned the Coalition Forces before. When I think of their standard Coalition Forces, I think of the one that I had, which has the two big lugs for easy band change. Almost looks like a tank almost. That's the one I had. I never really wore it all that much, so I ended up selling it. Still a beautiful watch, but this one here really, I can see why they call it the Coalition, because it does kind of share kind of the way they designed the bezel. The original Coalition Forces had this kind of smooth but grooved bezel. It's not really gear edge, but there's a slight edge to it right here and a couple grooves in it, almost like a gear, but not quite as many, I guess, teeth. They have a Cantina style crown protector on this, which is pretty cool. And man, this is done in the Abalone. So this is a real looker. I gotta tell you, if you're looking for a very masculine watch, this thing is. I almost want to keep this one too. I swear to God, it's torture. It really is. Very aggressive, very masculine. And with the Abalone, I don't have a silver watch or a stainless steel silver watch in Abalone, and this is absolutely stunning. I mean, all right. So let's talk a little bit more about it, and then we'll show you what it looks like on the wrist. This watch here is powered by, this is not one of the Swiss-made Invictas. This is just one of their Japanese, movement watches. This is powered by a TMI VK63A quartz chronograph movement. I'm not really too familiar with that particular movement, but the country of origin is Japan. Case thickness on this is 19 millimeters, so you have a nice tall wrist presence. It's the same thickness as your Grand Arsenal or Grand Octane. 52 millimeters in case diameter. Again, you have that Cantina style crown protector right there. And 316L stainless steel, 330 feet of water resistance, 12 ounces in weight. And you have your 3 o'clock, 24 hours. The complications at the 3 o'clock are your 24 hours. At the 4 o'clock, your date window. At the 6 o'clock, perpetual seconds. At the 9 o'clock, your 60-minute. Push-pull function pushers. And, of course, a flame fusion crystal. Unidirectional rotating bezel. And what else on this one here? Yeah, that's about it. So, alright guys, this thing is absolutely gorgeous. Case back on this thing here, screw down case back, of course, like on most of the Invicta watches. I love the Cantina style crown protector on this. You do have another function pusher underneath the Cantina style crown. This is going to activate your chronograph, so it works just like any other chronograph would. You basically press that top button to start the chronograph, and then press it to pause, and to reset, you're going to press the lower button. So I like that they've changed. I like how they did this design here where they have two different function pushers. It really gives the watch a little bit of a uniqueness. I like how they put that right through the center of the Cantina style crown arm, I guess you'd call it. And this basically just screws down and seals the crown from any kind of water leakage. Again, for you guys who need to hear the bezel, it feels pretty tight. As with all the Invicta watches, I never really have any kind of issue with any of their products. I mean, they really are really exceptionally made. And I like the band on this. You almost have this kind of textured diamond plating almost, if that's the right word for it, on each of the links. And the whole watch, for the most part, is done in satin finish, a little bit of polishing on the clasp, and the case on the sides are mirror polished, and the bezel appears to be mirror polished as well, and then kind of a satin finish on top of the bezel. This one here definitely surprised me. Like I said, it just was something that I didn't really think because I've seen this one on websites before. It wasn't one that really spoke to me, but now actually having it in my hands, it really is a nice looking timepiece. Price is right on this thing too, under $200, $189 gets this shipped to your door. Link is in the description if you want to go ahead and pick that up. This is absolutely a great one for the collection. All right, so I am about 5'7.5". I weigh about 170 pounds, and I have a 7-inch wrist. So all these watches look pretty darn big on me. God, that one is a nice one. And, you know, and this is great. It's great that I get to share these watches with you guys, but it's like putting, you know, it's like putting crack in front of an addict, for God's sake. It's like, yeah, I want to keep them all, you know, and unfortunately, you just, you know, I mean, I'm not made of money, so I can't really afford to keep every single watch that comes to the house, but nonetheless, it's great that I get to share this with you guys. This is a great watch. I mean, I tell you, I have a Noma 3 that I love also that I don't even wear. I would much rather have this one. It's just funny how you just never know what you're going to get sometimes with Invicta. Sometimes you get them home and it's just, they turn out to be way more beautiful in person, and it really is awesome. They really got some creative people working on this stuff, I tell you. And again, guys, sorry for not sizing it. I'm not going to size any of the watches because they do have to go back, and I don't want to damage the watch in any way. So you just kind of have to deal with that kind of hanging. I'm trying to hold it up so you get a better idea what it looks like on the wrist, but you know, you kind of get the general idea. I tell you, I like this one way more than the original Coalition Forces watch. And what's funny, you know, if you guys haven't seen the Coalition Forces, if you're familiar with Swole watches, basically Swole watches is a direct copy of that particular watch by Invicta. You can find infantry watches on eBay as well, which are like an entry-level $18 watch that copies that design with the huge lugs on the band. Very easy, quick release band system. But I mean, for me, I don't really like poly. I very rarely wear leather, and I just really like a bracelet style watch. I feel like it just holds up more. You don't have to worry about the thing breaking. And it just seems like with poly bands, for the most part, at some point they just fail. And then, you know, I would definitely recommend any kind of watch you get to not have a poly band. There are other bands out there like what is it? Isoframe, which are a lot tougher and a lot, I guess, they'll stand the test of time with salt water and everything else, but I've seen way too many guys with Invicta watches get the poly band and end up having problems. So again, not to say that you might have good luck with it, but I personally wouldn't risk it. I have poly bands that I don't have any kind of issues with, but I don't wear them all that often. And then I have another poly band that's on one of my Sterling watches that I wore that watch once. It was in the case, and it actually broke while sitting in the case. So I'd stay clear of poly, guys. Get the bracelet version. You really can't go wrong. I mean, the thing's never going to fail. Alright guys, well thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed this beautiful timepiece by Invicta. Let me know what you guys think. Remember, click like, comment, share, do all that stuff. Subscribe to the channel. If you do subscribe, click the bell, be notified anytime I upload a new video. And definitely check out the store. Even if you're not in the market right now, check out Bulldog Enterprise. Again, link is in the description. Exceptional deals, great quality, great pictures so you can see what these watches look like close up. I know you guys sometimes complain I don't get enough close-up shots, but my goal is to tell you about the watch and you know, show you guys what it looks like on the wrist. And that's really, for me, that's what kind of sold me on any watch really that I buy. I need to see it on the person, so it kind of gives you an idea what it's going to look like on you, especially if you're new to Invicta. I mean, I waited for so long before I bought my first Venom, and I really don't know why. I was scared to, you know, take the plunge and get one, not really sure if I was going to like it, which I could have returned it, but once I got it, that was it, I was hooked, so as you guys know. Alright folks, have a wonderful day and take care.